Hey everybody, Tim here, coming at you live for today's review of Star Trek Voyager, Season 3, Episode 26, and Season 4, Episode 1, The Scorpion. Before I get too far into this, thank you guys for everything. I've kind of been experimenting with my live videos. Originally, because of my work schedule, I was doing them at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night for me, Pacific time. And I wasn't getting a whole lot of reaction from you guys. So my friend Jamie, who lives in the UK, who is now watching, said like, why don't you try it at like 11 a.m. for me local time? So I tried it that. I got a huge reaction. A lot of you guys were watching and it was really great. I work retail, so my schedule changes like every single week. So I changed my schedule again, and now I get off at like midnight my time, after midnight my time. Good morning, Jamie. How are you? And so now it is actually 2:15 in the morning where I'm at, and I just got off work, watching some TV, having a drink. Oh, that's a little stronger than I meant to be. And so I'm kind of curious, at 2 o'clock in the morning, for me, how many people will get. So this is kind of an experiment. Again, before I get too far into this review, I wanted to say thank you guys for everybody who has been watching my other videos on my YouTube channel. I know my husband and I are trying to do Golden Girls reviews that we do like once a month because making him watch TV is like pulling teeth. But for those who have watched it, thank you very much. Today is, or I guess yesterday, was Saturday, so I was posting Doctor Who videos for the classic ones. I'm in my last 5 videos for the first Doctor, and it's getting a little bittersweet because, like, I didn't like the first Doctor when I first started, but now I'm starting to, like, warm up to him, so it's been a little bit sad. So thank you guys for those who have watched and commented on those. And just recently, I have started posting Stranger Things reviews on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are fans of Stranger Things, pop in there, take a peek, see what you guys think about that. Is that everything? I think that's everything. I don't know. I have so much going on. As I've been doing this, some things have been kind of put on the back burner, and I just kind of do it occasionally. Like I was doing James Bond. Now James Bond's like once a week on my days off, where I can really just kind of chillax and do whatever. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for your comments. I really appreciate all of the friend requests. Who knew I would ever make so many friends? But if you guys don't send me a message first, I won't respond. So just kind of keep that in mind, because I do appreciate it, but I like to know who I'm adding before I actually do it. So thank you guys for everything. It means so much to me. Now, this is why I have trouble with live videos. It's because I'm always like choking. I have really bad allergies, and I have like 6 animals, so there's so much dander in the air. And JB says he loves the Golden Girls. I feel like most people do, but I feel like Jordan and I are having a lot of fun when we're able to do them. We've already watched the next episodes. I just got to get him to record the video. Okay, so Star Trek Voyager, the end of Season 3, the beginning of Season 4, a big change, lots of stuff going on. And to be honest, so somebody commented on one of my videos that it seems like I'm not liking Voyager. That's not true. I love Voyager. Voyager may actually be my favorite Star Trek show. The Next Generation wins the favorite cast award. Voyager wins the favorite story award. I do love Voyager. That being said, the first 3 seasons are really difficult for me to get through. And to be honest, like I've told people, the Star Trek The Next Generation is some of the best television that has ever been made. Just my opinion here, come and take it for what you will. That being said, the first 2 seasons are so bad. Like they're really, really difficult to get through, those first 2 seasons. If you can get to the 3rd season, it's great. Voyager's kind of the same way, but you got to get to Season 4. Kes, I hate to say it, but I blame Kes. Like, I just don't think she's an interesting character, but I love 7 of 9. 7 of 9 is such a well-done, interesting character who, to be honest with you, was only put in for sex appeal. Like, she was put in there to get the nerds horny, and, I mean, it worked. Like, it was really well done. Which I've had that argument for years about other stuff as well, like Harley Quinn. I'm a big Harley Quinn fan. I have a Harley Quinn tattoo on my shoulder. when she was first designed in the one-piece outfit, she was such a well-designed character and super interesting. You look at her now, she's running around in her underwear, and it's just to kind of get that sex appeal going on, and they've kind of reduced the character. 7 of 9's kind of the same way. Like, she's just there to, like, look at how big her chest is and stuff like that. But her character is still super interesting, and I love to find out more about her. Like, I am ecstatic for the new Picard series. Like, you have no idea. If you guys haven't watched my Picard reaction trailer, when she comes on, I lose my fucking mind because I'm so excited to see her and her character development. Like, is she still with Chakotay? What's going on? I don't know. So I'm super excited. I'm throwing a big house party and everything for when that episode, the first episode of Picard comes out. So, if you guys are in the Pacific Northwest and you guys want to come over, lots of liquor and Star Trek. So let me know. Anyways, so overall, I would say this two-parter is great because it's kind of farewell to Kes, like, thanks, it's been nice knowing you, goodbye, but it's also a hello and changing course of the series. Like, the entire series changes course. Sorry, anytime I just pause mid-video, I'm reading the comments. I agree, the first couple of series are rough. Kes had a lot of potential but failed miserably with her. Completely agree. Kes could have been amazing. I mean, she only lives 9 years. She's telepathic. She's telekinetic. Could have done amazing things with her. Instead, no, you do nothing. Like, she's just like Neelix's love slave. Bye-bye. So this episode starts off with, I think it's technically the second shortest teaser, where it's literally just some Borg cubes giving their, like, hello, you're technological, biological, blah, 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 and then they're destroyed. I think it was less than 20 seconds. Like, it was short. Like, it was really short. And so I think that's kind of interesting, that it's literally like, hey, the Borg, oh, bye-bye, the Borg are gone. Never mind, just kidding. Oh, that is really strong. We meet, where do we go from here? I don't know. You guys got to help me through this. Janeway is in the holodeck with Leonardo da Vinci, played by the amazing Jonathan Rhys Davies. I think is how you say his name. Oops. He is a great actor. Fantastic. Everything from Indiana Jones to Lord of the Rings. Like, fantastic. I grew up in the 90s primarily, so I think of him from Sliders, to be honest with you. Anytime I see him, the first thing I think of is Sliders. And then I go to Lord of the Rings, and then I go to Indiana Jones. Great actor. Fantastic. And I remember, like, seeing him, like, because growing up, I was just like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, watching this as a teenager, I was like, oh, it's the guy from Sliders. And then watching as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's Gimli. And so as I've grown, I've associated him with more and more stuff. So it's great to see him. Anything he's in, it's really well done. So Voyager's traveling along. They know they're in Borg space, and they're trying to get to the Northwest Corridor, which is a region of space the Borg don't really occupy. And they are just mowed down by 15 Borg cubes, which, before you think like, whoa, 15, that's a lot. Let me back up for a minute and go back to the opening scene, that scene that was like 20 seconds long, where we see, like, I think it was 2 Borg cubes destroyed. This is the first time in Star Trek that we've seen more than 1 Borg cube on screen at the same time. We've only ever seen 1. So it's really interesting that, oh, now we see 2 and they're destroyed. Now Voyager is mowed down by 15. And they don't even pay attention. They're just like, bye-bye, and they're just running away. And it's kind of funny because it's not funny, but it's funny that Voyager, like, has their shields up, and they're just, like, bounced around. They're like, oh, shit, what's going on? Because, like, they're just bouncing off of the Borg shields because they're just, like, it's a stampede. It's like Jumanji's going by them. And it was a really great scene. And finally, one of them stops and is like, nope, you're not worth my time, and just keeps running. We finally do catch up with them, and there's an organic vessel around them. And Tuvok mentions how we've seen organic vessels before, and that's true. Even going back to The Next Generation, there were episodes about organic vessels and stuff like that. But Tuvok says the Breen has an organic vessel. I've done no research in this. This is mostly just me like watching the episode. I do not remember the Breen having organic vessels. Now, granted, this would have been, what, season 5? Maybe season 6 of Deep Space Nine at this point? But we see Breen ships in Deep Space Nine. I don't remember them being organic. I remember them being like technological ships, badass technological ships, because I remember recording that video where I'm like, hey, this is the first time we've seen it, and it's bitchin'. Like, it's a good looking ship. But I don't remember it being organic. So if you guys know more about the Breen, like, pop in some comments, let me know, because I don't remember the Breen using organic ships. So anyways, we see some organic ships, and we finally see a CGI alien. Now, I don't remember when this episode first came out. Let's see, it would have been 97, so I would have been like 9, maybe 10 years old when this episode came out. I don't remember, like, when this episode first came out, and I don't remember seeing the species 8472 and thinking, like, holy shit, that is a badass alien. Watching it now, the CGI is really bad. Like, it's kind of to be expected. I mean, this is a UPN TV show. It's 1997. Like, it is what it is, but it's a big step forward for, like, what they were trying to do. I mean, like, it's not a dog in a unicorn outfit from the original series, but it's not great CGI. I would love to see Species 8472 today. Like, with the capabilities that we have, let's see what it looks like now. But yeah, it kind of took me a step back. I was like, oh, like, that's it? Like, it's not that scary looking. We see Kes and kind of her telepathy, like, expanding, and all of the stuff she can do. Like, she sees Harry being attacked. And sure enough, he basically gets swiped at by the alien, and he's infected by it, which we'll come back to later. The Borg talk about how it's the species designated 8472, which again, like, it frustrates me a little bit that we never actually give this species a name. At least that I can remember. I could be completely wrong. If I am, go ahead, let me know. But as far as I know, for the rest of the series, like, it's only species 8472. I mean, we find out the Talaxian designated number, we find out the Vulcan designated number, and all of these other ones, that's how the Borg identify them, but we never give them a name. So that kind of bothered me a little bit. So we find out that this species is able to destroy Borg cubes. Like, it is super powerful. And to basically get past them, as Janeway says, we have to make an alliance with the devil, which I loved. I thought it was a great line. Chakotay gives this long story about the scorpion and the fox, which is where the title comes from. That, I will tell you right now, bugged the shit out of me, only because I've only ever heard this story told as the scorpion and the frog. Even going back to, like, the Crying Game and stuff like that. Like, I've never once heard it described as the scorpion and the fox. Even the scorpion and the turtle, but never the scorpion and the fox. So that kind of bothered me a little bit. And that kind of comes to the end of the first part, where Janeway's like, we need to make an alliance with the Borg to conquer species 8472. Jamie's the only one popping up with comments, and I mean, that's great. Like, I don't know, like, Jamie and I have never really talked other than chatting, so this is kind of great that you're watching me, but I can still talk to you. If anybody else has comments, for part 1, let me know what you guys think. And I'm super excited to be talking about this with you guys. Like, these live videos are fun, but they're more fun with people chatting. And evidently 11 a.m. my time is the most, like, when you guys talk the most. Oh, Jamie says he has heard it as the fox. If you can elaborate on that, that would be great, because I've never heard it as the fox. So I'll continue with part 2 if you want to just keep popping up with comments. So we go into part 2 where the Borg have beamed Janeway aboard, and they're like, you need to give us the technology to defeat 8472. And Janeway's like, no. And so they try to like put this like emitter into Janeway and Tuvok, and Chakotay's like, I've seen that done to me. Like, don't do that. And Janeway's like, no. If you want to talk to us, you have to give us a single person. Kind of like you did with Locutus of Borg. You have to give us a single person to talk to, and we'll talk through you. We're not going to do this whole collective thing. And so they give her basically, it's almost like an ambassador. They give her 7 of 9, tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 0. It's great. As soon as she comes on, I squealed a little bit. I was like, oh, here she comes. Like, this is where the series starts getting good. We find out that 7 was assimilated in, like, 18 years ago, which was a long time ago. Like, even if you look at Star Trek in real time, 18 years ago would have been, like, 7 years before... No. Like 7 or 8 years before the Next Generation even started. So it's kind of interesting that she was assimilated so early, like before Q even introduced us to the Borg. So that's kind of interesting. Chakotay is put in command because Janeway is injured. He makes some questionable decisions. 7 of 9 talks to Chakotay. I gotta stop drinking. 7 of 9 talks to Chakotay about like his like command structure and the way he thinks about things, and he's a small people with small ideas, which is almost exact quotes from First Contact, where the Borg Queen had referred to like humanity as being small, and she talked to Data about like, oh, small ideas and small organisms. And she uses the word small quite a bit to kind of describe human beings. So I really liked how that kind of continued onward. Overall, throughout the episode, Chakotay tries to get rid of the Borg and like flush them out into space because they want Voyager to turn around and go back. And Chakotay's like, nope, not going to happen. And it's kind of funny because when Janeway finally wakes up, Janeway's like, I would have done it. Like, I would have kept this alliance going. What was wrong with you for saying no? And Chakotay's like, I made the decision. Like, I was in command. It's what I did. But of course, 7 of 9 is the one Borg to survive the whole encounter. And they realize that the Borg had actually started this war with 8472. They're the ones who created this gateway to another dimension and encountered this species and was like, oh, hey, we're going to assimilate you. And 8472 is like, oh, no, you're not. And basically attacked, and the Borg's like, oh shit, what did I do? And now they're trying to retreat. So it's kind of interesting to kind of watch all of these developments start, and how Voyager's still trying to just get through Borg space. By the time we get to the end of the episode, like 7 of 9 being the only Borg aboard Voyager is cut off from everybody else, and Janeway takes it upon herself to kind of do some research on her. And she's like, I think I found your parents. They were some extremists, aka space hippies. And like, your name is Annika. And like, I can find out more information about you. And so it kind of ends on that cliffhanger of like, who is 7 of 9? What can we learn about her? And what's going on with this Borg /8 472 war going on. So overall, I would say this was a great two-parter. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. The first 3 seasons was definitely Voyager trying to figure out what are they going to do. Like, I mean, we had the like really long, drawn-out Kazon storyline that just kind of annoyed me. We had the really long liaisons with the Phage storyline going on, which could have been great, but they never did anything with it. So finally, this is basically that cut point where they're like, you know what? Everything from seasons 1 through 3, we're done. We're going away from it. Starting now, it's going to be a clean break, and it's going to be all brand new stuff. And I like it. I think this is where the series gets really good. And I'm really excited to watch this. And I'm really excited to kind of do a lot of the reviews for this. So, for those who have seen this one, thank you guys for those who have commented, which is basically Jamie. So thank you, Jamie, for watching. And I mean, honestly, I think Jamie's probably like my number one fan. Like, I know you watch my Star Trek, I know you watch my Doctor Who, and Golden Girls. I don't think you watch my James Bond or Stranger Things. But thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. So, for those who have seen this one, what did you guys think? Did you think that this is a major breaking point, like a before season 4 and a post season 4? Because that's almost how you have to think about Voyager, is like that this is clearly the splitting point. So what did you guys think about this? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. For those who have subscribed to my YouTube, it means so much to me. You have no idea. Thank you guys for everything. It was great to see the Borg. They really helped bring Voyager into the mainstream. I completely agree. So, let me touch on that before I end this real quick. Every Star Trek series has kind of had to one-up the other. So, for example, in the original series, the Klingons were the most used villain. And they use them quite a bit. When we got to the Next Generation, we now have a Klingon in the crew. So it was like, oh, this is how it's going to be. They tried to make the Ferengi the big bad for Next Generation, and it didn't work. Whatever, we'll move away from that. When we get into Deep Space Nine, the Ferengi is part of the main crew. Like multiple episodes of Ferengi in Deep Space Nine. Next Generation also set up the Borg as like the most dangerous species ever. When we get into Voyager, now we have a Borg as part of the crew. So each episode has kind of had to do that one up to the previous series. So that's why I'm super interested to see where Picard goes, the series. So I agree. Like, Voyager really kind of changed the way we look at the Borg. I love the Next Generation. I love how they did their Borg episodes. But you can rewatch some of those episodes, or even my reviews for those episodes, and I talk about how they didn't really know how to handle them 100%. By the time we get to Voyager, it redefines them as a species. Not even as you're going to be assimilated, but as an actual species with a culture. So I agree. I think Voyager, completely changed how we looked at the Borg, and it changed kind of Star Trek in general. Whereas the first 3 seasons were trying to be like this, we're explorers and we're doing this. Whereas the last seasons completely changed that. So anyways, for those who have seen this 2-parter, did you look at it as a post-season 4 or pre-season 4, post-season 4 view? Like, is that how you view Voyager? Because I mean, that's how I am. It's like anytime somebody's like, I love this episode, I was like, is that a Kess episode or is that a 7 of 9 episode? Because it's gonna change how I look at it. So go ahead, let me know what you guys think about that. What do you guys think about Voyager in general? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for those who have subscribed to me. You have no idea how important it is to me. Like, I love it. I try to love all of the comments that I get on that side, and it means a lot. For those who will watch my Golden Girls, my James Bond, my Stranger Things, what other? I do a ton of shows on that, so thank you guys for everything. You guys are great. I think you will have to look at it that way. So thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for The Gift.